I got a lot of questions on the last video that I posted about the soul trap disclosure in a Star Trek Voyagers episode where Jane and this being who's pretending to be her dad tries to get her to come into its matrix so it can harvest her energy. This is a really good question that I think a lot of you have, so let's get into it. So number one, take your time. There's no need to rush to make a decision on where to go and what to do. You have an unlimited amount of time to make that decision, and if a being is trying to rush you into it, that should be a red flag. Number two, you need to take the time to develop your intuition and your discernment in this life. So start doing little intuition tests, start doing exercises with someone where you can start to develop your discernment to tell whether or not they're lying. The game Two Truths and One Lie is good for this, or overall just those intuition tests to start to flex that muscle, so to speak. Number three, they need you to agree, so pay close attention. These beings operate on what I like to call non-consent. It's a way of tricking you into agreeing or contracting with them, and it's very sneaky, so let's go over some of the ways that they can do this. First, go back and watch the video on my page and then come back here. The being asks Jane, "Wouldn't you rather just come with me than stand here for eternity arguing?" And Jane says, "No, I will never go with you." If she would have said yes, that would have been her giving her consent and agreement. This is something that can also happen in dream time, where a being opens up a door for you and you go through, where you shake a being's hand, where a being offers you food and you eat it. There are so many different ways that they can get us to agree to whatever their agenda is by these simple gestures that go right over our heads a lot of the time. And it's not as obvious as signing on the dotted line. It can be something as simple as having a conversation and the being saying, "Right?" and getting you to nod your head and agree. They can take that as your consent and use that as a hall pass, so to speak, to do whatever they want to do. I've seen this time and time again where they will use that small gesture as a hall pass to do whatever they want and to use it as an excuse that you gave your consent. We are on to the fourth thing that I recommend, and like in the video that I shared from Star Trek Voyagers, where the being is disguised as Jane's dad to try to get her to enter his matrix, these beings will disguise themselves as your loved ones to try to get you to consent and agree to go with them. So you need to know your loved ones and their resonance deeply to be able to feel their vibrational frequency, to feel their actual soul essence, to be able to know whether or not that being is just disguised as them or if it's truly them. This may seem like a hard thing to do, but really it's not. You know your loved ones. You know the things that they would say. You know exactly how it feels to be around them, so trust your intuition. And this brings me back to my first point, which is why it is so important to take your time. There's no need to rush through this process, and if they are trying to rush you again, it's a red flag. Number 5, practice lucidity in your dreams and in your waking life, so that way when you pass away, you can make clear decisions and use your critical thinking and be clear-headed, so to speak, so that way you know exactly what you're doing and you won't be tricked into anything. Many ancient cultures and people liken the after-death experience to being in a dream, and they take lucid dreaming and dream practicing very seriously because of this. Number 6, know your power and claim your right to see the truth. Stand in your sovereignty and declare out loud with your voice that you want to see the truth and the core of their being. Keep asking. Don't be afraid to keep demanding. If they are trying to persuade you otherwise, say no. Keep demanding. Stand your ground, and they will have to do what you say or they will have to leave, one or the other. Entities can use different holographic technology, shape-shifting abilities, but they cannot truly disguise the core of their being. So you can see past that facade into the very core of their being. Entities can only trick you and use holographic technology or shape-shifting abilities for so long. They can't really truly hold the true soul essence of your loved ones, and you can see through that facade if you just take your time and you just really hone in and declare your sovereignty and right to know exactly what is going on. So you're going to want to declare yourself as the true sovereign self and being. So you will say, I, Jessica, am the true, benevolent, dominant self, and I demand to see your true soul essence. I demand to see past the facade and know exactly what is going on. It's important to really know and believe what you're saying, to use your authority in the matter. So beings cannot trick you. They will have to treat you as an equal. And if they are trying to deceive you, you will be able to see past that deception. If they decide to break universal law and code, that will be on them, and they will definitely have the repercussions for that. But knowing that they are a being that is trying to steal someone's soul essence, I wouldn't put it past them. So going back to developing your intuition and your discernment, I think this is going to be your number one tool that you can use, not only within your waking life, but also within your dreams and also after death, within these different experiences that you might have. It's important to know that your intuition, like many people, will start out as a whisper. And once you begin to trust yourself and follow your intuition, it will become clearer and louder. But if you constantly are ignoring your intuition and your inner knowing, it will start to become quieter until you can barely even hear it anymore. And it's very similar to using your muscles in the gym. The more you train and exercise, the stronger that muscle will become. So I leave you with this. Know that you truly are a powerful, sovereign being. You have the right to know, and you can demand your sovereignty in any situation. I truly hope this helps, and let me know if you have any other suggestions in the comments below.